So you're in the process of creating a children's ministry theme, and the question comes into your mind, how do I come up with a children's ministry theme for my children's ministry space? Hi, I'm Randy Tribb with Creative for Kids. And if one of the questions that's coming to mind for you as you begin the process of creating a theme is, where in the world do I start to create a children's ministry theme for my children's ministry? I've got the perfect answer for you. I field this question a lot, and this is how I generally coach my clients in the direction that they should begin, and allow the Holy Spirit to direct you as you start the process of creating your theme. Allow this just to be directional coaching, okay? So the first thing that I tell my clients is this: when you create a children's ministry theme, the number one primary benefactor to the work that we do is the unsaved families in your community that are coming to your church for the first time. They're really who we're after. Secondary beneficiary to the work that we do is your church family, right? They're going to love it, they're going to be excited, they're going to be motivated. That's almost by default, which is awesome. But we want to grab that attention of that first-time visitor where that young man or young gal has never been to church before, and they walk in and they see a theme that relates to them, right? So this is how I coach. If you're an inner city church, you probably aren't going to want to create a rural theme, or vice versa. If you're a rural church, you're probably not going to want an inner city theme, in part because, again, there's going to be a disconnect between the families that come in to the kids that are with them, to the theme that you may have, right? There's a disconnect. They don't get it, right? So we want to create themes that relate to them. So I give you an example of this. Let's say in your community, parks are really big, and kids and families doing things in parks is really big. I know this is kind of generic, but it's a good starting point. We want to create themes that are gender neutral, that relate to both boys and girls. And so a park can do that, right? Because you can do a lot of athletic things, which work for both boys and girls alike. But you can also do non-athletic things in a park. For example, you can have kids walking dogs, or you can have kids fellowshipping with each other or talking, right? You can have kids messing with their phones as they're walking together. You can have kids listening to iPods or music or that kind of thing as they're in a park. So you're working both boys and girls, or considering both. And then you're also considering both athletic and non-athletic kids alike. So now we have a very well-rounded theme that works both, right? So we said at the beginning of our example, families in your community are used to going to the park. So when the kids walk in, let's use the example that we've got. As you walk in, we have a big skateboard thing going on, right? As they first walk in, and the kids that walk in, skateboarding's a part of their life. And they walk in, they see skateboarding kids, and they go, whoa, this church gets me, right? Mom, Dad, look, there's skateboarding kids in the church. That's what we want. We're trying to connect your theme in a purposeful way with those unsaved families as they come in for the first time. Now, that's generally how we coach. That's how we generally encourage when considering a children's ministry theme. Now, I generally speaking, do coach my clients away from biblical themes, not in a bad way, but to create that relationship between the two. However, we do great Bible themes, right? Because we'll produce what the client wants. Bible themes are timeless in that they're biblical, right? But a lot of times what we found is that if I have a Moses and the burning bush scene, and a kid comes in that's never been into church before, the first thing that's going through their mind is, wow, why'd that old man light that bush on fire, right? Because they don't get it, right? They don't understand the Bible story. They don't understand the significance of it. And so there's a disconnect there. Now, I know that in time you can draw them in and minister to them, and they'll get that eventually. So you can do a biblical theme. It doesn't go typically with what I recommend, but you can do it, and it turns out great, and they're timeless, and they're wonderful for years to come. But ideally, in my opinion, in 15 years of doing this as of this filming, I generally coach my clients to non-biblical themes. I kind of liken it to this for me. It's like going door to door and witnessing with the big family Bible, right? Or going to McDonald's and seeing big hamburgers on the wall. Well, they know they're already at McDonald's. They don't need to see big burgers on the wall to understand where they are, right? So if we create biblical themes or non-biblical themes that relate to them as they walk in, we want to create that disconnect, And then it's up to your folks and the curriculum and other things, right, to draw their hearts toward Christ, to get them saved, and then move forward in their development within the Lord. All right? So that's generally how I coach. If you have additional questions, look around the website. There is a plethora of videos and articles in regards to creating theme environments, as well as look in our mural gallery for ideas as well. We have over 1,200 pictures that you can look at that will inspire you to greatness. And then if you have additional questions that you're not finding answers to through the website, feel free to give us a call, 877-637-0122. We'd be glad to help you out. Again, as we've always said, it's our desire as a company to empower you with the knowledge you need to make the best decisions for you and your church.